Well, let's address the elephant in the room in this case, and that is the young support, not just of Doge in this case, but also of Donald Trump. When you look at a generational breakdown, it is the younger generation who is in quite a large majority supporting Donald Trump. I saw a recent poll out, I think it was a CBS poll, 60% of young folk between the ages of 18 and 24 supported Donald Trump. And that's, stark contrast relative to the boomer generation, who I think the number was in like the low 40s, maybe high 30s. So there definitely seems to be something that has happened behind the scenes. And I want to just first start there, Ethan, because I have been told for years, a decade plus at this point, that Brian, toss in the towel. Party's over. Like, the younger generation, they're a bunch of leftist, progressive, gobbledygook goofballs. Like, don't waste your time going after them. They're going to be voting left, like lockstep for the next 60 years. And yet that just doesn't seem to be the case. So, Ethan, we're hearing this right now as the narrative, but the numbers, as our good friend over at the PBD podcast, the Biz Doc says, words speak, but numbers scream, something like that. Numbers are screaming here, right? What's the actual, I guess, boots on the ground, word of mouth that you're hearing as, dare I say, a young folk, right? Where did we in the older generations, the millennials, the Gen Xers, and the boomers, where did we get things so wrong?
Well, I think youth by nature is rebellious, right? And so we think back to the 60s and the 70s, the counterculture movement. That was the cool thing to be a part of, right? The hippies were protesting the war, were against the administration, all that stuff. And then even as recently as 2012 with Occupy Wall Street, that was like the trendy social movement to be a part of. But these days, the dominant cultural movement has been woke sort of leftist hegemony for as long as I've been politically active. And so it's rebellious actually to be conservative or libertarian and say, hey, I believe in a smaller government. I believe in more traditional values. That is the rebellious counterculture